system.
50 freaking episodes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next edition of the Losers Lounge podcast. And yeah, episode number 50. So this is a really big one, even though it's kind of a small audience here. But before we get started on that, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, I have one member of my Losers Lounge with me, so it's just two of us here today. Please welcome Losers Lounge member and, of course, newly inducted Optimistic Hall of Famer 2018 and 2019 Losers Lounge Member of the Year, the Heelest of Balors.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's great to be back, and wow, 50 episodes and history, I guess. It's good to be back.
Yeah, and first of all, before we get started, I want to ask you, man, did you ever think we'd get to 50 episodes?
No. No.
50 damn episodes. What we're going to be doing, folks, is we're going to be doing our predictions to WWE TLC, Tables, Ladders, and Chairs 2019. It is the 11th edition of the pay-per-view event. So this is going to be really cool. Before we get started on that, I have another question I want to ask Heel Balor, which is, what do you think, what is your response to knowing you are, once again, Losers Lounge Member of the Year, but now also an Optimistic Hall of Famer?
Like, my feelings and thoughts overall, like, they're mixed. Like, I never thought, first of all, that I would be probably two-time Losers Lounge Member of the Year because, well, you guys come here for basically everybody, and basically everyone is signaling me out as probably the quote-unquote best member when in reality, like, I'm just here to entertain and just, speak my loud opinion. But, hey, I love my fans out there, and I'm sure they love me back, and I don't want to discredit my fellow losers as well. And the other one, yeah, like, it's insane. I am a Hall of Famer, and it's a great honor. It's a great honor, man.
Yep. Speaking of other losers, as we all know, like, when it comes to KELSEY and Connor, they're out doing their own thing nowadays, which is always good.
Yeah.
As for the Double R Wrestler Ryan, he is not here with us. He is actually, by this point of recording, on his way to attend AEW Dynamite. It's in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So, congrats to him on that, huh?
Much love, Ryan.
Yep. We miss you, man, and we hope to see you possibly next week when we review TLC on the 51st episode.
Mm-hmm.
But until then, of course, well, shout out to all the rest of the Losers Lounge for also becoming Optimistic Hall of Famers from the successful awards show. And how great is it knowing my bro, Longneck Josh, is going to be headlining next year's class?
Fantastic.
All right.
Good honor.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's the funny thing about TLC. About a week ago, there was nothing on the match card. And we were actually concerned. We were thinking there's not going to be much for us to predict if there's nothing there. But thankfully, of course, we have 7 matches we're going to talk about. But this is kind of an unusual match card. One wouldn't think this would be the case. We have 2 TLC matches, a tables match, 2 tag team title matches. Well, one of the TLC matches is for the tag team title, and 2 singles matches. But here's the thing. The only titles that are on the line are the 3 sets of tag titles. So what do you think about that, Willie?
It's cool.
Well,
Change up a bit.
Well, at least, they're getting some recognition.
Very true.
Specifically, the women's tag titles. That is honestly something that really needed as much recognition as possible, given it's been poorly received.
Yeah.
So hopefully they might be doing something good with this, but we'll get to that later. In the meantime, we're going to get started on talking about this. TLC, folks, is the final pay-per-view of 2019 and the final pay-per-view for WWE in the 2010s decade as we head into 2020.
Wow.
Crazy to think about this.
I know.
First TLC event was coincidentally 10 years ago, or so much crazy stuff happened, whether it was Christian and Shelton Benjamin in a ladder match, John Cena and Sheamus in a tables match, Batista and The Undertaker in a chair match, or DX and Jericho in the TLC.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think about 10 years ago, like the concept of a TLC pay-per-view was an amazing idea, wasn't it?
It was.
And these days it still kind of is. It's only if they're done properly.
Mm-hmm.
An example of when it's not done properly was 2013 and 2017, where pretty much 90% of the entire show had nothing.
Yep.
So, there's that to think about. But I'll be honest, to this very day, I still wish we could bring back the Armageddon pay-per-view for December.
Please.
After all, WWE just trademarked several WCW shows, and coincidentally, a former WCW pay-per-view name is Sin. It's as if WWE wants me to really be acknowledged on this. I'm just kidding.
I wish.
That'd be cool. I swear, if they actually name a pay-per-view next year Sin, I'll be like, wow.
Watch them do that.
It's literally a pay-per-view of my liking. It's in my area of expertise.
Yeah.
But TLC, I will say one thing. Last year's TLC was pretty fun. Not going to lie.
It was.
Last year's TLC featured the first ever women's TLC match when Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Asuka faced off for the SmackDown Women's title, and that was actually very well done. I had mild concerns about that one, but it turned out to be really good.
Looking at it a year later, it was a very fun match, and lots of good spots. They killed it, and they deserved to be in the main event that year. Also, this is another match I really enjoyed on that card was Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles for the WWE title. That was fantastic, and me being the huge wrestling nerd that I am, I really, really enjoyed that. The spots are great, lots of high-flying action. They killed it.
Although one thing we can agree on is last year there was a match that was really hyped up very well, but ended up being very flat, and that match being Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose.
Formerly now known as John Moxley, but yeah, I remember we crapped on that match.
Yep, because the Losers Lounge, we did our prediction and review on that pay-per-view last year. That was when we were definitely doing really good. Now, here's the thing, we can say that we've done a lot of different events over the course of a year and a half and almost 2 years.
We have.
And we will be continuing to do more as time goes on as we head into Season 3 once WrestleMania hits.
Hell yeah.
But also, folks, I want to say one last time, though, thank you guys for supporting us for 50 episodes, whether it was 30 minutes to... Actually, I'll be honest, none of it was 30 minutes.
Nah.
Whether it was an hour, whether it was 2 hours, 3 hours, or fucking 6 hours.
You've always stuck with us through thick and thin, and we appreciate it.
And the rest of the Losers Lounge also... thanks you guys for it. They wanted us to let you know that they love you all, they miss you all, and they hope that one day they'll be on this podcast in the future. So, congrats to everybody who's ever supported the Losers Lounge and those who are going to support the Losers Lounge going into the new decade. Now, without further ado, we are going to start talking about this year's event of TLC. While we gotta admit something, yes, the WWE Champion Brock Lesnar will not be competing. No shocker there.
Pretends to be shocked.
I will at least reveal one thing which is very, very interesting, and that very, very interesting thing is the fact that Brock Lesnar has competed at more pay-per-views in 2019 than he has ever done since his 2012 return.
I give him credit.
Yes, he was at He wrestled at Royal Rumble. He wrestled at WrestleMania, obviously. He appeared at Money in the Bank. He appeared at the Super Showdown. He appeared at Extreme Rules at the very end. He competed at SummerSlam. He competed at Crown Jewel and Survivor Series.
Not bad.
That's quite a big accomplishment, honestly, for someone who's a part-timer.
It is.
For a part-timer, it's kind of crazy that you would appear in all these events. It's getting to the point where he appeared at pretty much half the main roster pay-per-views, to the point where that's almost considered possibly full-time. No, okay, no.
No, not even close.
No, he would have to compete every week on Raw or something.
Which we all know he won't do.
Of course not. But yeah, the WWE Championship will not be on the line at TLC. But shockingly... neither will the Universal Championship, and that's the first match we're actually going to talk about here, and that is The Miz versus Bray Wyatt. Not The Fiend, Bray Wyatt.
Mr. Rogers.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine?
I think you mean It's a Beautiful Day in the Funhouse.
Unfortunately, it doesn't go to the beat of the neighborhood song, but it's okay. But yeah, folks, this is the first time that Bray Wyatt in the Funhouse character will ever compete. So if you think about it, this is technically a debut, isn't it?
It is. It is.
The Fiend has competed since SummerSlam. The Fiend, who is the Universal Champion. That reminds me, I want to ask you, Willie, first off, we'll talk about the new Universal Championship designs. We'll start with Bray Wyatt's. What do you think about the blue Universal title?
Okay, so that stuff was swirling around the internet as a meme, right? And me, I personally don't care for belts being colored, which is weird because I absolutely love the North American Championship in NXT. I'm just not a fan of the belts, the strats being colored like, back in the day, they used to be blue, baby blue, purple, stuff like that. And when the title actually appeared on SmackDown, I was actually not against it. I was like, okay, it's actually good.
When we look at that, we look at the Photoshop.
The red title.
We look at the Photoshop pictures that people have posted over the years. Hey, if it ever goes to SmackDown, it's gonna look like this, and it looked really ugly, didn't it?
It did. Bad photoshopping.
But when you actually see the real thing, we're like, actually, it looks way better now.
Yep.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I like the blue Universal title design better than the red. So
I like it a lot better.
It's kind of crazy to think about here on that case. But there's also another design, which is the Fiend's custom design, which honestly doesn't look that good. But from what I hear, it's been made actually from a certain fabric that is extremely valuable and kind of one of a kind here.
Dang. My thoughts on the Fiend's Universal Championship. I think it's really creative, and they had a good mind for it. But I think once it showed up in person, I just don't like it. It looks like, I don't know, it fits the Fiend, obviously. You don't want to see the Fiend of course we did, with the Universal Championship blue, But, seeing it show up in the Funhouse and seeing how the design is, it's just, I don't know, I can't get into it. It's too weird. Obviously, that's the point. The Fiend's supposed to be weird, Willie. But I personally don't really care for the title design for the Fiend. That's just my opinion there.
That's understandable in that case. But of course, one thing that's on everybody's mind, everybody's talking about here, is the fact that they have it as on a limited time on WWE Shop for about $6,500. That's not a joke, folks. $6,500. You could buy 13 replicas of the World Heavyweight Championship with that money.
And I already got one version of the World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, well, you need 12 more before you can reach the value of this championship.
I'm good.
It's understandable, but I've been trying to think about why it was priced so high. Some would say it's because it's custom made. Others would say because WWE is just desperate for money. My case is because it's made of extremely valuable fabrics, and the way it's created, it's a certain type of leather or something that is probably extremely worth a lot of freaking money if you were to sell it on something or pawn it.
Oh yeah.
So if you think about
speaking of title designs, I was about to say, speaking of title designs, but I'll get to that in a minute. What you got?
So if you think about it, yes, I think the reason the title is priced so high is because of the type of fabric it's made out of. If there is somebody out there on this planet that actually purchased this thing, if there is somebody out there that purchased that championship, I really hope they make a video about it, post it, and they pretty much describe what it looks like to them and what it kind of feels like. I wonder if it feels any different compared to a normal championship, because if it's a $6,500 belt, for one thing, in my opinion, it should weigh heavier.
Yeah.
It should be heavier, and it should also feel different compared to the other replica titles. I mean, this is something beyond a replica title. This is like purchasing the real thing here.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, continue on with what you were saying about a title change.
Oh, I was talking about title designs. Speaking of title designs, we're getting into his. I don't know if he's defending this title, obviously. But the Intercontinental Championship design has been changed. What do you think of that title design?
Well, honestly, when I first, I remember this because I was in Chicago for Survivor Series weekend, and I was in my hotel watching SmackDown. I didn't go to SmackDown because I didn't have a ticket for it, but at the same time, it still felt kind of weird because I was across the street at a Target, and I was looking at Allstate Arena, and people were filing in. I'm like, damn, I'm not going in there. But anyway, when I watched SmackDown in my hotel room, I saw like Sami Zayn unveil the new Intercontinental Championship, and I was like, oh my god, it actually looks very cool. Kind of reminds me of a New Japan-like title.
Well, he's a Japanese guy. I mean, I'm kidding. Yeah. It's actually like, people have told me, like, I've seen so many comments on the internet saying basically like that it looks more like a world title than the actual world title. It's like the WWE title, like if they say it's even better than the North American Championship, which I actually agree with.
It actually kind of is.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. I will say one thing.
I like it.
I'm glad that the Intercontinental title does not look so similar to 70% of the other championships.
I know.
Like the ones that look the same, we're not even talking just the main roster. Even NXT and NXT UK have the same designs.
Yep.
Look at the NXT and NXT women's title. Put them side by side, you notice they look the same. Just a little bit of a white color on it. Same thing with the UK title and the UK women's title.
Same design. I just don't care about them making their titles the same designs. Like, change it up a bit, please.
Yep. My opinion, like, hope this doesn't give me hate or anything, but I really think they should
who cares?
I really think they should go to the guy who made the AEW World Title belt, and maybe that can have him make their title designs.
Yeah, like the AEW World Title, like that's a beautiful championship.
It is.
It's an interesting company, but it's a pretty beautiful championship. Plus the guy who's holding it, obviously. But like that title, like I want it. I want to hold it. I want to hold the real thing because like that thing looks so beautiful.
It is, yeah. All right, back to Bray Wyatt and The Miz. Like we said, there's several questions people were asking. Now, here's the thing. This kind of made me feel like I was losing brain cells, honestly, when people were asking these questions. Like, they announced Bray Wyatt versus The Miz. The graphics clearly showed Funhouse Bray Wyatt, and it said that was just The Miz versus Bray Wyatt. And people were still asking the same questions. Is the title on the line, and is it going to be Bray Wyatt or The Fiend? And I'm like, the graphic literally says that it's Bray Wyatt, and despite the fact you see him with the title on his shoulder, it doesn't say the title is on the line.
Think, people. Think.
Yep, the title is not on the line this time, folks, and the reason for that, here's the thing, people are asking why The Miz is not getting a title match against Bray Wyatt, and it's honestly kind of simple. Bray Wyatt was recently, talking smack about the Miz's family, about Maurice and their kids, and potentially threatening them. So I think what's going on with Miz is he doesn't want the title. He just wants to kick Bray Wyatt's ass.
Good luck with that.
Well, we don't know how the Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt wrestles, so
we don't actually.
Yeah, we don't know what the Miz is going in against. If it was the Fiend, Miz would die.
Yep, and be reborn. And turn heel.
As the chick magnet or something? Did. As a chick magnet?
Ha! Yeah. That's an awful gimmick, in my opinion. I hated that.
Now, if he would be reborn, he better come back as the A-lister, the heel A-lister.
Yes.
Because that was a wonderful thing, and he really needs to go back into that.
He does.
But yeah, and of course, it's obviously not the Fiend because the graphics, it literally says Bray Wyatt. It would show the Fiend if Miz would face the Fiend. And others are pretty much saying that they don't think it's a cool idea for Bray Wyatt to compete because they want him to be the messenger, whereas the Fiend is the physicality.
The killer. Yeah.
The messenger of the killer, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like, at the same time, just because Bray Wyatt is the host of the Firefly Funhouse doesn't mean he doesn't know how to fight because, after all, we saw him hit his sister Abigail on The Miz.
And it was so cool. Let me just say.
Yep, Bray Wyatt is just freaking freaky. And let's be honest, Bray Wyatt and the Firefly Funhouse is the best thing that WWE has done in 2019.
Yeah, pretty much.
Next to the 24/7 championship, of course.
That concept to me kind of died now. I mean, I'm not as enjoying it as I used to. But, I mean, it's still there. I mean, it's still, doing its thing. But I'm just kind of done with the 24/7 thing. I mean, Bray Wyatt this year, as you said, has been the most greatest thing, I think, in professional wrestling, in my opinion. Yeah, I said it, in professional wrestling.
That includes everything from AEW?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, dang right. Everything in AEW. Over there, they got freaking, Build the Bubbly and all that stuff. That stuff's old too, by the way.
Speaking of which, I've actually considered getting my own bottle of Little Bit of the Bubbly. Do you think I should do that and then celebrate the new year with that stuff? Woo!
Oh God. Yeah.
Make a video of it, and I'm just completely chugging a champagne bottle.
Oh my God.
That'd be lit.
Oh my God. Oh my God. He's gonna make a video of that shit.
Yeah, back to what you were saying about Bray Wyatt being the best thing.
Yeah, as I said, Bray Wyatt, yeah, he's been like the best thing in all professional wrestling. Because, well, he's unique. The thing, because like we didn't know anything about the Firefly Funhouse. Like, the first thing we saw of Bray Wyatt and the Fiend stuff was basically just a box, and the crow popping out.
Well, that was a buzzer. Or
the buzzer. Yeah. My bad.
It was the night. I remember that. It was the night after WrestleMania. I was at my uncle's house, my uncle's lake house in Rochester, New York, just coming back from New York City, and I was watching Raw, and I saw that take place, and I was like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah, like it was so unique, and people were like, "What is this stuff? Like, what is this unique, dark, and twisted stuff?" I mean, we knew it was. I think we all knew it was probably Bray Wyatt from the beginning.
Because we see a buzzer.
It changed to the Firefly Funhouse. Yeah, the ominous messages of like the dollhouse and all that stuff, like the creepy stuff, the creepy vibes, Abby the Witch. Then the Funhouse stuff happened. Now, my first reaction of seeing the Firefly Funhouse was like, "What did y'all do? What did y'all freaking do?" Because like I was into myself, this is complete garbage. And then bam, like out of nowhere, it started getting more darker and darker. Then we see the Fiend for the first time, and lo and behold, who does he attack first? No, than my boy Finn Balor. And that all turned out very well in the end. Obviously,
when it comes to me, I had mixed reactions. I had mixed reactions myself when it came to the Firefly Funhouse. However, what I liked about when I gave it a chance is when I found out that this was not a Vince idea. This was Bray Wyatt's idea. I mean, what'd you think when you found out it was Bray Wyatt's idea?
My first reaction to it was like, okay, he's finally doing his own thing, and you're actually giving him creative control. Because we all know dang well he probably has probably half and half say in his creative ideas and who he works in, and especially over his character. Because this is his character and his creation. You think Vince would have greenlighted this? Obviously he did. But you think Vince would have greenlighted like this horror type thing for like his audience? Obviously he did. And with Wyatt's influence, especially with his background and stuff like that, it's just amazing to see it all come out on screen. And like people have been telling me this. Like people have been telling me that the Fiend basically is changing people for the better. Basically, Seth Rollins obviously is back to being a heel. Finn Balor, heel. It's going to probably work on Miz obviously it's not because, Bray Wyatt is going to be facing Miz, obviously. But you get my drift. It's like I really am enjoying the Fiend and what he's been doing this year. And I have no, shame in saying that he is the best thing going in professional wrestling. And that includes AEW, New Japan. That includes like any other company out there. I'm not being a WWE suck-up or a WWE show when I say that. That's just my honest opinion about that.
And not
just you can disagree. It's all good.
And not just that, but also it's one of the most talked about things around here.
Say again?
It's one of the most talked about things around here.
It is. Like, did you see, like, I remember there was a video going around of a person who didn't even know about wrestling or whatever. She was watching the commercial for WWE on Fox before it premiered, and the Fiend showed up, and she's like, "What the hell is this shit?" And, like, I freaking died laughing. Because, like, it's a non-wrestling fan, like, looking at something that is on wrestling. It's like, the first thing you see, like, if you were a non-viewer of professional wrestling, and the first thing you see is the Fiend, like, you'd be scared. I don't blame you. Like, it's just amazing about how the Fiend basically, and he's the top merch seller. Yes, he is the top merch seller in this company right now. Yep. Yes, over our precious Becky Lynch. Yeah, I said it.
That is true because the Fiend is like,
I love it.
They have shirts, they have the Fiend masks, and now they have puppets for the Buzzard, and I believe, do they have one for Ramblin' Rabbit? I don't know.
They do.
Oh,
they have a stuffed animal of Rambling Rabbit.
And, of course, they sell his severed head lantern as well. And now there's the custom...
That's another thing I love.
And now there's the custom championship, which I think is only available on WWE Shop, not on the merchandise. You're not going to find that on merch stands.
No, no. If you were to find that on merch stand, you have to be very lucky to find it. Because like that, I guarantee you that's probably gonna be at WrestleMania next year for Access. That's where they'll have it, and that's the only time they'll probably have it is at WrestleMania Access. Because like that thing, as I said, like it's unique, it's great, but at the same time, it's kind of just very meh. I mean, I understand some people are saying, I don't know, Christian, if you've been hearing about this, but some people are saying the Fiend is over pushed and washed up now, and people are saying that the Fiend is ruined. Like, what is your response to all that?
I disagree with all that 100% because the Fiend, for one thing, anytime the Fiend shows up, everything like gets dark, like both literally and figuratively. The Fiend,
Exactly.
this thing is freaking invincible in the ring, and the reason for that, here's like a lot of people are thinking that they're just gonna drag that whole thing out, and they probably will, yes, but that's not a bad thing because not everything is solved within a month or two.
Exactly.
It's like example, like everybody expects one thing to go the way they hope it would go, and it ends up not being that way. That's why Rey's parents are not Han Solo and Princess Leia.
Obviously.
Speaking of which, folks, Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, the finale of the Skywalker saga, and the last one in the sequel trilogy, releases in theaters next Thursday. So get your tickets now, and I'll see you over there.
Hell yeah, gonna be good, man. But like, yeah, people are also saying, like, as I said, the Fiend is washed up. They're saying the Fiend's act is basically stale because he shows up like every week. They think that he should be kept secret, like basically how the Undertaker was back in the day. People are saying he's the new Undertaker. He's not the new Undertaker, first of all. And second of all, personally, I don't think the Fiend is over pushed that much. I mean, yeah, he is on TV all the time, which they kind of need to step back on. But I think, it's just, it's one of those things where people, once again, it goes back on the thing, Christian, people are fickle. You know what I mean?
Speaking of fickle, I think we all know, like, since you've mentioned before, that anytime the Fiend ambushes or takes out somebody, like, example, Finn Balor, they get reborn as something better. Finn Balor was reborn as the Prince, Seth Rollins was reborn as the Architect, and quite potentially Daniel Bryan, after getting his hair ripped out, was reborn as Bryan Danielson.
Yep.
So that's if you think about it, like by hurting them, he also heals them.
Exactly, because like with the entire, as you just said, like him ripping out Brian's hair or whatever, we don't know what hair that was. God forbid, it's a different type of hair, but yeah, like Brian being reborn as Bryan Danielson, and I don't know if he'd be joining Bray Wyatt. If he comes back as Bryan Danielson, I'm gonna mark the heck out because, like, first of all, that's it's some indie stuff that I love. Bryan Danielson, obviously. And Finn Balor, you already know my opinions on Finn Balor finally turning heel. Fantastic. And Seth Rollins most recently turned heel this past week on Raw. He's in line with the Authors of Pain. And what's your opinion on that? I'll sum my opinion, but actually, I'll tell my opinion when we get to the Seth Rollins. Let me just wait until we get to the Seth Rollins match. We're still on the Fiend and the Miz.
The Seth
you want to give your predictions?
Wait, did you just say the Seth Rollins match? Because Seth Rollins doesn't have a match.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
because I could have sworn he's going one-on-one with Kevin Owens.
No, for one thing, Seth Rollins legitimately broke his finger recently.
Damn.
So I don't think he's doing that. But they're also saying that in storyline, Kevin Owens is injured because of the assault on the stomp on the concrete.
Well, that writes off that match.
For now,
I think
it'll come back at a later time. Just like here's another thing. I think you mentioned before that the Fiend is not washed up, and some people think the Fiend is overpushed. Why do I keep saying he? It's an it. Yes. It's an it.
It's an it. It's not a he. It's not a gender. It's an it.
We don't even know what the hell this thing is.
The demonic creature from the depths of hell that came up and, it's consumed Bray Wyatt. It's his dark. It's basically how Christian is with Hunter Bane. You really think about it. Except that, the Fiend and Hunter Bane, please give me that match. Please. Yeah. Anyways,
The Fiend versus Hunter Bane.
Oh my God, could you imagine? Anyways, we're off topic. Miz and the Bray Wyatt. I'm gonna go with this sounds weird. This sounds very weird, but what if Daniel Bryan returns to this show and actually, because if you really think about it, the Fiend hasn't been beaten. The Fiend will not be beaten in a long time. You hear me, WWE? Do you hear me? He will not be beaten. You don't need to beat him now. Anyways, I think as I said, Daniel Bryan could probably show up here and help Miz win, but I'm gonna go with Bray Wyatt because, well, I think it'd be Miz really doesn't need it. Actually, if you really think about it, Miz really does need the win here. I'm gonna go with Bray Wyatt because I love Bray Wyatt and I can't stand babyface Miz. I know people are probably gonna be saying in the comments below, "It's not logical explanation." Shut up. And also I think that the Miz, like, I think he's just placeholder for Bryan, and basically Bryan's gonna often probably come back as just that Bryan Danielson, and basically Miz just a placeholder. And it would make sense for Miz to win, just get revenge on Bray Wyatt for what he's done or what he's probably doing now. We don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Bray Wyatt.
All right.
Take back on Bray Wyatt.
But before I give out my prediction, you also said that the Fiend in some ways is overpushed on TV. Maybe that's why they're having Bray Wyatt take over right here.
That's another reason. Probably because they want to give also the Fiend a rest, because the Fiend actually has been on, excuse me, the Fiend's been on TV for so many months, and like people are probably, I can understand probably why people are getting tired of him as well. But I understand there are some people in the community that, can be fickle and can be, negative out there, obviously. But there's some people like myself, Christian, probably anyone else I usually talk to, who like the Fiend. So,
Definitely.
Hey, to each his own, potato. You know?
My prediction...
you can't control everybody. You know what I mean?
I know, right? It's crazy. My prediction on this match is also Bray Wyatt to win the match because, for one thing, I don't know what to expect, actually. I don't know. I don't know what the Funhouse... I don't know what the Funhouse Bray is like in the ring. We don't know.
Probably gonna sing nursery rhymes.
Also, I wonder what the hell's his entrance gonna be? Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood intro?
Oh my God! It's a beautiful day in the Funhouse. A beautiful. Oh my! If they actually do that, like,
that's gonna be a win.
I wonder if. No, here's the big question: how is he going to win? That's then like basically what's his finisher going to be? That's what I'm trying to say. What his finisher is going to be?
Well, he does do the Sister Abigail. I think it's only the Fiend that does the Mandible Claw.
Oh yeah, it'd be so weird for Firefly Funhouse Bray to do the Mandible Claw. It wouldn't be that interesting. It'd be weird.
All right. With that being said, we're going to go on to the next match. We spent a long time talking about this match.
I know.
All right, let's go on to our next one-on-one match. This is another one I'm definitely excited for, and that's Aleister Black versus Buddy Murphy.
He's going to pick a fight.
Pick a fight. With
me.
Wait, this is what we're doing here? That's what we're doing here? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So we're going to go pick a fight? So you're telling us that we're locked in our dark rooms and we're waiting for someone to knock on our door? And pick a fight with us? All right. Someone come knock on my door. No? Yes.
I want to pick a fight with you, Heel Balor.
All right.
See? How easy is that?
So simple.
Just like John Cena's open challenges for the U.S. title.
God, I miss those.
Oh, those were great times, huh? I mean, even if Cena obviously wins all the matches themselves were great.
He elevated the U.S. title.
Yeah, not to mention he elevated the stars of the challengers, too.
He did. God, I miss John.
Good times, yeah. Good times indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, Aleister Black versus Buddy Murphy. For one thing, I didn't think it'd be on a pay-per-view match. However, it all started when Buddy Murphy pretty much was like, went to Aleister's locker room, challenged him. Of course, Buddy Murphy claims that Aleister's all talk and no fight.
Exactly. I just loved how he just walked to his door and he's like, Aleister Black, I want to pick a fight. And then Aleister just starts looking around because Buddy Murphy walked away. He starts looking around.
Yeah, who said that?
That was so funny. That was just so funny. I want to pick a fight. Like, it's just so funny.
You know what would have been funnier?
What?
If Aleister opened the door till you look around and you could just hear a bunch of party music playing.
Oh my God.
Inside the room and you see a bunch of disco lights.
Oh my God.
He just closes the door, goes back to his party. Maybe that's why he didn't hear them.
Oh God.
Good Lord, that'd be hilarious, wouldn't it?
Ah, yes.
But yeah, there's not much to talk about for this match because there's not really much they've been doing. I mean, Aleister and Buddy each went on to compete and win several matches in the weeks leading up to this show. But what I actually like about this is they have not exactly, they've actually been keeping them away from each other.
That's good. That is good.
Leading up to the pay-per-view, which is exactly how it's supposed to be. I mean, sure,
Bingo.
you can, like, I'm actually, the one thing I'm glad for is they didn't put them in, like, tag matches leading up to this match.
That one's stupid.
Yeah. So, here's the thing. Let's go back for a second. Extreme Rules this year, when Aleister Black took on Cesaro. Remember that?
Yes, I do. And the ending also. Freaking kicked the mouth guard out of Cesaro's mouth. So funny.
Yep. So I'm excited to see how this is going to turn out, because when you get a one-on-one match like this, Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy, they're both really good at what they do in the ring. Mm-hmm. It's just like Crown Jewel earlier this year when Mansoor took on Cesaro in like what I call the 4-star match.
It was good.
So, pretty much how I would say is, folks, keep on the lookout for Aleister versus Buddy this Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
But my prediction,
winning, obviously.
Yeah, my prediction is also Aleister Black. So, 2 of us for Aleister Black.
I'll be floored if Aleister Black actually loses his match, but he's not going to.
2 of us on the move for Aleister Black. 2 of us on the move for Bray Wyatt.
Yep.
All right, folks, we're going to go on to our next match, and this is our first stipulated match. We have a tables match.
Oh, joy.
Where Rusev will face Bobby Lashley. Lashley.
Oh.
And
I'm just going to say this right here. Leo Rush made Bobby Lashley relevant. You all know I'm right.
Funny thing is, last year, let's go back to last year around the Christmas holidays, Bobby Lashley and his feud with Elias in last year's TLC match was in a ladder match with Elias's guitar hanging above the ring.
Oh, God, I remember that.
That was on the pre-show, but I was like, that's a little weird.
It was.
But what was funnier, in my opinion, was Elias versus Bobby Lashley in the Miracle on 34th Street fight when Leo Rush went through the table of goods and everything.
I remember that.
And remember the eggnog he got all over his head?
Yes.
That was awesome.
Oh, my God, yeah.
But this time, coincidentally, last year, Bobby Lashley won a TLC match accompanied by somebody with an L in the name, and now he's doing the same thing this time with Lana.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of crazy. Let's take a moment to talk about this, because not only is this one of the most despised storylines, and yet it's one of the most popular storylines, because look on their YouTube videos. It gets freaking millions of hits every single week.
It does. That's good.
And I think, despite the fact that, in my opinion, it's not the best storyline, at the same time, it's extremely popular. And whatever's extremely popular, here's the thing. I look at the comments, and I look at the like and dislike ratio. The likes are still dominating.
That's good.
So if you think about it, it may be something that not a lot of people like, but it's extremely popular. And I guess people are saying, what's not as popular? What's more popular than a freaking love triangle where we're getting sex in the mix here?
I mean, as you said, it hasn't been the worst storyline. Like, I've seen way, way, way worse storylines than this. And this storyline has made me laugh a few times. Like, when Lana was in the, I think it was the spa or whatever, and she was getting massaged, and, they made a freaking sexual joke that made me bust out laughing so hard.
Oh, yeah.
Lashley lift up her towel or whatever. I freaking laughed so freaking hard. It's just been good. They've made it, somewhat, a disaster somewhat, and entertaining as well. This past week, when the attack happened and the quote-unquote divorce angle happened. And technically, if you really think about this, Christian, shouldn't this be a Lana on a pole match? I'll be her all day, folks.
Lana on a pole? Oh, that's something I guarantee that was in everybody's wild, wet dreams.
Get your freaking fetish fantasies off the internet, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my God.
We've
had it, Ken. They're stuck in a pole match.
Well, at the same time, that would be a very interesting idea. The problem is Rusev doesn't want Lana anymore.
Nope.
What I really liked about this is this past Monday on Raw, during the divorce segment, Rusev actually made this a lot more entertaining when he absolutely owned Lana.
He did, and the Donald Duck shirt.
Yeah.
It was great.
I mean, here's the thing. If you can go on to the opening segment of Monday Night Raw, wear a Donald Duck shirt, and completely own your wife as you're divorcing her, you freaking made it as a human being.
Not only that, like he is in my opinion, he's the main reason the storyline is actually getting over with some of the fan base because it's actually he's making it entertaining. Bobby Lashley is just Bobby Lashley. Lana, she's eye candy for the freaking people out there. Yeah, Rusev is funny.
Rusev is getting everything. Rusev is getting over again, and Rusev Day is becoming a thing again.
About freaking time when WWE killed it last year. It's about freaking time.
Yeah, Rusev Day was one of the funniest things ever. When I looked online and look at people, they say they had like a picture of a calendar, and every day on it said Rusev Day. And I know,
it's great.
Yeah, let's do a little flashback. Royal Rumble 2018, when I was there with my brother Josh in Philadelphia, we were looking around the place, and we were literally telling people, "Hey," somebody's like, "Hey, it's my birthday today." Yeah, we were like, "Hey, your birthday's on Rusev Day? My birthday's on Rusev Day. Hey, my birthday's on Rusev Day."
Man, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, we were like talking to complete total strangers saying, "Oh my God, my birthday's on Rusev Day too." What? Oh my God, this is crazy. I like going to these wrestling shows because that's the one night a year you can talk to total strangers and we're all connected.
I know, that's the thing about the wrestling fan base is like you can meet people who you've, as I said, never met, and like you can become friends. It's crazy. Or you can become enemies.
Yeah.
Moving on.
But yeah, I'm really glad that for one thing, while this storyline, I'll admit it, I don't really like it as much, but I'm not gonna bitch about it, nor am I gonna make a big deal out of it because, like I said, it gets a lot of hits and it's extremely popular, and if that works, then it works. Any popularity is good popularity. What's more important here? Your entertainment on television here, or the views that you're getting on the internet here? You know what I mean? It's like potato. Like, people are actually enjoying this stuff. Like, and here's my thing. People get crapped on for, like, enjoying an angle like this. And yet when people, like, I'm going to bring, like, AEW, for example. People say this is the worst angle in wrestling currently. Like, look what AEW, I don't mean to bring up AEW every time we do our podcast, but, like, they're a good example here. Look what AEW is doing currently. Chris Jericho has I guess we call it the Listion of Le Champion or whatever the heck. He basically has the list of Jericho back. And, like, Lexicon.
Personally, I don't really find any of the inner circle stuff entertaining. I don't find AEW's weird, disturbing jokes funny. I mean, there are some funny stuff at times, but that's just an example. And the only company I can think of right now. But, like, that's an example. People say WWE stuff is cringy, and look what AEW does. Some of their stuff is cringe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll admit, yes, AEW is not perfect. We all know that. And
no,
I remember when AEW was created, when this year began, people actually believed it was going to take down the WWE by the end of the year. We're at the end of the year now, and AEW can hardly beat NXT.
You can't keep AEW out of your mouth every time you open a podcast. Whatever.
But anyway, I will say one thing, though.
Moving on.
I will say one thing, actually. AEW, I still stand by with what I say. AEW has a bright future as long as they can get rid of taking shots at the WWE.
And ripping off their stuff. Just saying, hey, WWE does that too. Whatever. Keep typing in the comments. Oh, and by the way, one more thing. I gotta say this right here. Am I the only one who hates the term smart and mark?
Yeah, I don't even know what that means. I mean, I heard it so many times over the years, I just don't pay attention to it. Still don't understand what it means. And even if people do tell me, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. We're just pro wrestling fans at the end of the day and just accept it and move on. Moving on, by the way.
Yeah, moving on back to Rusev.
Lashley and Rusev. Yeah, I'm going to go with Rusev. I guess it makes sense for the babyface to win here. And I think how they're going to end it is that basically I think it's going to turn out that this was all just... This sounds weird, but it's probably going to turn out this was all a ruse by Rusev. It sounds weird. If you really think about it, they probably just played Lashley. It probably could happen, but it'd be so funny.
Oh, wait,
like,
do you think...
Lana screws him over.
Oh, do you think it was a ruse, or do you think it was a Rusev?
Clever wordplay. Yeah, like, I could totally see them going down that route. But yeah, Rusev is going to win. And if he doesn't, like, I won't be shocked. But, like, I'll be like, okay, the babyface didn't get his win. Okay, that's okay. Then they'll make out in the middle of the ring for all we know and, go all rated R. I don't care.
I truthfully think this match, I truthfully believe that Lashley is going to win this match, actually, because probably thanks to Lana. Or Lana herself might get put through a table.
I could see it. She's taken bumps before.
Oh,
obviously.
yeah, I think that'd be awesome. And matter of fact, seeing women go through tables is always fun.
Oh, yeah.
So, but one last time, though, folks. Like we said, we're not the biggest fans of this storyline. However, we applaud the fact that it's working. Because the most important thing is it's getting views. It's not turning off. People are not turning off their freaking TVs.
I mean, some are, but some aren't. You know what I mean?
Some are, yes, but also, if you look at their YouTube, most people are clicking on those videos.
Yep.
Most people would think, oh, they're doing it just to put in hate. That's not what I've seen.
I've seen some positive stuff from it.
Yeah, because like I said, if it works, it works. Any popularity is good popularity.
Good publicity. I like it.
Well, publicity, that's what I meant to say. But yeah, any publicity is good publicity. It works. Why do you think Roman Reigns will headline WrestleMania 4 times in a row?
Yep.
All right, we're going to move on to the next match before we get to our titles. This is our first of two tables and ladders and chairs. Oh, my.
Oh, my.
Roman Reigns versus the King, Baron Corbin. The hot and sexy Baron Corbin.
Storyline that's actually getting traction.
Yeah, this storyline, on the other hand, is garbage.
Yeah, for all the wrong reasons. Good job, WWE.
Because this is basically Baron Corbin is a bully again.
Exactly, that's his role. But he's even more of a bully now. Like, what are you doing?
They're making fun of Roman's big dog name, bringing out the dog costume, and not to mention also the dog food recently.
Oh my god. Oh god. Let's kick it off how this whole crap began. Oh my god.
I believe this all started when the whole thing with Survivor Series began. It all started, of course, when Roman and Corbin were put on the same team. And Baron Corbin saying that he should be the captain because he was the king of the WWE. And starts making fun of Roman Reigns for being called the big dog and says maybe he should be treated like a dog. So he brought out that guy in the dog costume.
That was so stupid.
I think whoever it was in that costume, I think they're glad they're going to remain anonymous.
I know.
I would want to remain anonymous if I was doing that.
I thought it was Roman himself.
Could you imagine if it actually was? He went through with that whole thing just to go after Corbin.
Yeah,
that would actually make the whole thing worth it then.
Mm-hmm.
So, however, of course, to me, what really drew the line was the dog food. That was absolutely disgusting. That
was just god awful.
Not just bad as a storyline, but that was literally disgusting.
Oh my god! Like, are you serious? Like,
here's the thing, Willie. Do you agree with me? Were you also gagging, about to vomit just by watching that because you know how disgusting dog food is?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't close to vomiting, but I was actually just turning away from the screen, and like I was thinking to myself, who booked this? I'm like, who that booked this crap to literally have Roman Reigns go out there, be handcuffed, his hands above the ring post, being literally. I know how they advertise as Roman was going to be humiliated, right? And like, you really go out there and you pour dog food all over him. Wouldn't it be just simple to like pour water over his head from a dog bowl or something like that? Did you really have to go out there and literally put dog food all over, the big dog? Or would it have been more? It would have been. Or force feed him. I don't know.
Yeah, I was aware. Like, in my opinion, it would have been crossing the line if they tried to feed him that shit.
Oh my god! Like, I just they were basically how they treated the all the stuff they did with the women back in the day.
Oh yeah, remember Vince McMahon forcing Trish Stratus to bark for her.
Oh my god! If they did that, I don't know if that would get. I don't know. Like,
hell, when that actually happened all those years ago, as a kid when I watched that, I was like, I got extremely pissed the fuck off.
Same here.
Because that may have been one of the first times ever as a kid where I noticed that one of their angles in WWE, actually I think it was WWF at the time, was stupid.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was stupid, and now we're doing this again here. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm shocked about one thing. I'm shocked that Roman Reigns and King Corbin are facing off in a TLC match instead of a fucking dog collar match.
Apparently, that was the whole rumor, quote unquote. That was the match. Like, they're not even fighting over it. If you really think about it, what are they fighting over? Nothing.
Well, they're fighting all just because Baron Corbin's a bully, and that's it. It's a TLC match, in my opinion.
But like, are you serious?
It's a dog collar match would have been weird and stupid, but at least it would have made sense.
Mm-hmm.
Given the circumstances of
I don't know. Like, it's just weird.
Here's the thing. In my opinion, I would definitely, if I was having Roman Reigns and King Corbin feud off again, I would probably have done it extremely differently. I would have done it like, how about this? In my opinion, King Corbin, sure, you can have Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode involved in the mix if you want.
Not Robert Roode. Not Robert Roode. Because, let's just say things happen. So he's going to be gone for 30 days. Moving on.
Yeah, but anyway, I would just take out the dog stuff. Like, they'll make fun of him because he's the big dog. Because this is the same guy who beat the Undertaker at WrestleMania. He's one of 2 guys to ever do that. He headlined WrestleMania 4 straight times. This guy fucking beat cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to freaking mess with a guy who's done all of that?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it doesn't mean anything if you beat cancer. Shut up.
Yeah.
Don't even go there.
It doesn't matter who you are. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter who you are. It always means something when you beat cancer. Because that shit is fucking life-threatening.
It is.
Hard to believe a year ago, going into the last year's TLC, we had no idea if we would ever see Roman Reigns again.
Nope.
No. I thought that at the earliest, it would be like 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are.
And some people are saying that people are... This sounds so weird. But people have been telling me, the only reason they're cheering Reigns is because he beat cancer. The cancer got him over. Oh my God, people...
Roman has...
Do you think...
Roman has been over for years. Whether you like it or not, Roman is over. He's been put over. Because...
No, he's not. He wasn't over back in 2015, 2016. No, that was because what WWE did to him back then. You remember, WWE forced him back then. That's why I didn't like Roman back then.
Hell.
Now I like him because he's not being forced.
Yes, think about it. Since returning, has Roman Reigns been in a main event spot for a major world title?
No.
Has Roman Reigns been taken on like, let's say, Brock Lesnar again? No.
No.
And of course, has Roman Reigns been going after so many titles since he came back?
Nope.
No. The answer to all those questions is no. In my opinion, Roman, he fell down the mountain and he's deciding to climb his way up this time.
Unlike a certain architect, but we're not going to talk about him until a later date. But yeah, like, you get it. Like, and I also think like Roman Reigns, like now currently people are calling him like the John Cena of this decade. The new John Cena or whatever. Like, I really hate when they go that far with like wrestling and like take things as like Roman Reigns is the new John Cena. Like, I personally, I don't think no one's going to replace John Cena's face in the company until, I know this is way off topic, but I know that people have been saying that stuff. But in my opinion, nobody's going to replace Cena. And I still think Cena will be the face of the company until he steps down, period. And that's just my opinion. That's really off topic. I apologize. But like, I've just been seeing so many people saying John Cena has officially been replaced as the face of the company because he's not there. He's not a WWE guy anymore. Like, it's just a matter of like, it's either, as you said, Christian, whether he's there or not there, he's still, a part of WWE. That's way off topic, and I apologize, but
he may not be. Well, John Cena may not be the face of the company anymore. In my opinion, Roman Reigns kind of is because.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'll be honest. I'll even say it myself, and I'm not embarrassed to say it. I would not mind if Roman Reigns is the top guy in the company. I don't care. I actually don't mind it myself. I like Roman Reigns. Get over it. I like Roman Reigns.
like they're doing so many things right with Roman that they should have done with Seth Rollins. And the problem is, if you really see the difference between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns as leaders, Roman Reigns really didn't go out of his way to attack fans. If you really think about it. Reigns doesn't go on Twitter and start talking down the indie wrestlers. He doesn't start comparing his bank account with Will Ospreay. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you don't see Roman going out there and picking fights with people.
Hell, I look at Roman's Twitter.
Yeah, stuff like that.
I look at Roman's Twitter. The only times he usually posts if he's promoting a match or he retweets something that he got tagged in by the WWE account.
Well, you don't see Roman going out there and just causing. You also don't see Roman Reigns going in interviews and trash talking people. I'm just saying.
No, he doesn't. Roman Reigns. This is why. Sorry, guys. Roman Reigns is better than Seth Rollins. I said it.
We've been new.
Yeah.
I mean, Seth, like, he's great. I like Seth. I've explained this over and over again, and I'm probably going to explain this again to get through your thick skulls, but you're not going to listen. I like Seth Rollins. The problem with Seth Rollins was that, in our word, or at least in my words, that he was forced. So that's just like Roman Reigns, he was forced down our throats.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I don't like. Is when wrestlers are forced. That's why I dislike Becky Lynch towards June and July, because she was being forced.
Kofi Kingston as well.
Kofi Kingston was forced. That's why I don't like is that word forced down. John Cena was forced.
So there was a time where we didn't like him.
The Fiend, you can say the Fiend's forced or whatever, but people are saying the Fiend's forced. It goes back to what I said, but forced. That's the one thing I don't like. Like, Seth Rollins was forced. Roman Reigns back then was forced. Becky Lynch was forced in June and July. You know what I mean, ladies and gentlemen. And if you don't agree with what we have to say, whatever. We don't care.
Of course, another case I wanted to talk is, I think,
what you got?
The reason things didn't go right with Seth Rollins as the face of the company here, or the top face here, was because Seth is not the guy who is worthy, in my opinion, of being the top face of the company, because while he is good at what he does, he just doesn't have that top face guy. In my opinion, he's the perfect top heel.
Rollins also doesn't have a thing that other guys in the face company don't have. And that is, or do have. And that is basically patience. You didn't see John Cena going out on Twitter. This goes back to what I said. You didn't see John Cena going out on Twitter and on Instagram blasting fans. You don't see Roman Reigns. Goes back to what I said. Roman Reigns. You don't see Roman Reigns going out and blasting fans, talking about crap on interviews. And I understand that some people, even myself, did say that Seth is defending the company. He's the company guy. Is that correct, Christian? He was the quote-unquote company guy.
He was.
And Vince looked at him that way.
He was, yes.
But he is a great wrestler. I'm not going to deny that whatsoever. And I'll always stand by Rollins' side. I mean, I understand that some people will probably say that.
And of course, something else that we will never take away, guys, is despite the fact that while we did not like Seth Rollins being, quote, shoved down our throat, the one thing we can agree on is we have nothing but the utmost respect for what Seth Rollins does, because let's face it, even if we didn't like Seth Rollins, we never hated him. And also, we understand that he'll work harder than any member of the Losers Lounge combined.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
The guy wrestles several times a week. I like to see all his haters try and go on the road and go wrestle all these several times a week. Go to all these places, travel the world, leave your family and friends behind, all just to perform
like
for
these
the
guys
fans.
do.
Yeah, I'd like to see you try.
They wouldn't have it.
It was hard for me.
I'd like to see all you try. Do that stuff.
It was hard for me to try to even wrestle a couple matches back in my early days. So how do you think it must be for them?
Like having your wife's storyline. This goes back on this. Having your wife's storyline or your personal life. Let me try it again. Your personal life being put out there. Your marriage being put out there in a storyline. How do you think he felt? How do you think Colby Lopez and Rebecca Quinn, and yes, that's the real names, ladies and gentlemen.
They even
how would you think that they felt?
They even admitted we felt uncomfortable with this.
Bingo. Like, I don't know. Like, we can't speak for Mr. Lopez. We can't speak for Miss Quinn. But, how do you think they would have felt? Soon to be Mrs. Lopez, but you know what I mean. But the entire forced thing of Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. We understand this is way off top, but we don't care. If you really look at Rollins being the quote unquote face this year was a flop. And looking back on, I don't know if I said this a few episodes ago, But I did say that when Seth Rollins beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, and whoever he were to lose to, it would have been made memorable. He lost Extreme Rules. Didn't really mean anything. One time back at SummerSlam, and I thought, okay, here we go. They're going to rebuild him once again. Nope. Turn around. He goes right back to where he is. And he did his usual shtick, You got you. And let me say this. His promo this past week on Raw. Yep. I loved it. I loved it. Like, he's talking down to, he's even talking down to us. His quote-unquote haters, his criticizers right here. He's talking down to all of you. You are fickle. You are morons. You don't know what you want out there, He busted his butt for all of us, and we never gave him thanks. Now, granted, some of that stuff that he did was, kind of on him,
And we even admit one thing.
Didn't speak truth.
We even admit one thing as well. Sometimes things don't work out for us as well. People can also say that we wanted certain things, and when it happened, we also complained. Here's the thing. For our case, it's a little different because what we wanted when it comes to Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar, what we wanted was for Brock Lesnar to lose the title. It didn't really matter who it was to. We did not want Seth Rollins to be the top guy in the company. As for Becky Lynch, we wanted her to do great and to be a champion again. But the problem is,
obviously.
But the problem is, they made her become Becky Two Belts. And
not only that, happened, the entire man shit, and that entire, I'm gonna say it right here. I'm about pissing a lot of y'all off. I don't care here. They forced a freaking feminist agenda down our throats. Basically, is what they're doing here.
Yep.
And in that entire shit, I have no problem saying that. Well, they forced a feminist agenda down our throats where I've already been over this. I know what the man gimmick is, blah, 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 blah. We'll talk about Becky Lynch a little bit later where we can praise her. But, you know what I mean? It's like these guys, Becky Lynch, as I said, she was the face. She is currently, in my opinion, the face of the company. I mean, to me, there's not that one set individual who's the face of the company. I mean, some people say The Fiend, Becky Lynch. Kind of depends on who you ask. But Becky Lynch, one of my faves out there. She was forced.
I'll tell you what. We'll get to Becky Lynch a little later, but we should go back to.
Let's stop with Becky when we get to Becky.
We should go back to. We got to rewind. We got to rewind. Hit the rewind button.
Corbin. God, we went off topic again, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, we'll press the rewind button. Roman Reigns and King Corbin in a TLC match.
Yeah,
I will say. I don't think it's a good idea for them to compete in a TLC match because maybe how about a chairs match?
It'd be a lot more violent. Or a dog food match. The loser has to eat dog food. Oh, wait, Roman Reigns already did that. Never mind.
Yeah, or how about, like I said, dog collar match as well.
Yeah.
What the hell?
TLC match,
I do remember the dog collar match. I think that was created in the days of the Junkyard Dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah. Long time ago. But even that was just not so. Even that was just not so good. But I will say, in my opinion, it's going to be Roman Reigns. What about you, Willie?
Big dog. Who cares?
Yeah, we talk so much off talking about this. We apologize, folks.
Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. We're so amped. It's the 50th episode of the Losers Lounge. Yeah. Get a little crazy and wild and hit.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to go on to our titles match. The only titles on the line as of this podcast recording, Wednesday, December 11th, releasing on Friday, December 13th. Friday the 13th, oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Friday the 13th in December. That's scary.
It really is. I think that's October, but yeah, whatever.
Well, I know what I'm watching on that movie night. I'm going to watch Krampus.
Ooh, sweet.
Love that movie. We'll go on to the tag titles. The 3 sets of tag titles are the only ones that are on the line, but let's start off with this one. The Raw tag team titles, they have no opponents. However, the Viking Raiders have said that they're going to be issuing an open challenge for the Raw tag team titles at the pay-per-view event.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This was announced on WWE Backstage recently. So, this is actually very interesting. So, we can't really say much about this tag team title match because we don't know who's going to accept the challenge. However, I think it could be the Street Profits. Because
I think it's going to be the Usos.
Oh, very interesting. After all, yeah, they don't have a brand yet.
Nope. I think it's going to be the Usos.
How about the Hardy Boys? After all,
I wouldn't mind.
After all, Matt Hardy's on Raw.
That is true. We haven't seen Jeff since I think we haven't seen Jeff since the US. I don't know when was the last time I saw Jeff. I don't know.
It was April.
He's out.
He was April. The
Oh,
Hardys.
yeah, that's right. Oh, that's right. He got taken out by Lars Sullivan.
Yep, the Hardys had to vacate the SmackDown tag titles.
Yeah.
But and then of course there's Jeff Hardy's legal issues again.
Yeah, Jeff Hardy got a little of trouble and all that stuff, but we wish him the best, whatever. And I could see it being the Hardys, but I think it's going to be the Usos. I think, because we haven't seen the Usos since, let's say, WrestleMania, I think, or whatever, on the pre-show or whatever. And their entire, all that stuff, their legal issues and stuff like that, which we will not bring up.
No, the last time we saw the Usos was the Raw reunion.
Oh, wow.
Which is where coincidentally John Cena rapped about their legal issues, and then all of a sudden, a few days later, it happens again. But
Cena spoke it out into the universe. Good job, John.
I will say, just for my prediction, I will say Viking Raiders to retain against whoever.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to throw it out there, yeah. I think it's going to be the Usos, but the Viking Raiders are going to retain. Who knows? Could be an NXT team.
Let's go on to the next tag team title match. In my opinion, I hope this is turned into a ladder match. The New Day versus the Revival for the SmackDown tag titles.
Again.
In my opinion, that should be a ladder match because, here's the thing, put that as the ladder match, put Roman Reigns and King Corbin as the chair match, and then boom, we have one of each stipulation. There we go.
But no, this company is not simple whatsoever, so, whatever.
Instead, we have 2 TLC matches and a tables match.
Oh, yeah.
No ladder match, no chairs match, but hopefully that will change. At the time of this podcast recording, we have no idea, but we'll see.
They probably will. They always do.
The New Day versus the Revival. It's kind of crazy and kind of awkward that the New Day is still together without Xavier Woods.
I miss Xavier Woods.
But hey, congrats to them on their new podcast.
I haven't heard it. I have not heard it yet.
I've not heard it either, but I'm just giving my congratulations to them. But of course, they'll never be as good as the Losers Lounge podcast.
And nobody can touch us.
Exactly. But, New Day, Big E and Kofi Kingston will defend against the Revival. Revival won a 4-way elimination match, I believe, to qualify for this, so at least they qualify for it.
Yeah.
So, they defeated Heavy Machinery, Lucha House Party, and Team Lollipop Guild. Mustafa Ali and Shorty G.
Oh my gosh.
God, that's a horrible team.
Yeah, I don't know, it's random, but I wouldn't mind them being tag team champs in the future. I mean, as I said, it's random, but hey.
In my opinion, it should have been Otis and Tucker.
Yes, they are owed a tag team title victory, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, how cool would it be? Could you just imagine, actually? Here's how things would work out. How cool would this be? If, let's say in Survivor Series, what if the Authors of Pain went back to NXT, with all due respect to Fish and Chips? What if AOP won the NXT tag titles, Viking Raiders were the Raw tag champs, and the Heavy Machinery were the SmackDown tag champs?
Yes.
That would have been even cooler. I mean, I didn't mind what actually happened at Survivor Series on the kickoff show, and congrats on the Viking Raiders. They're the only ones who gave Raw any sort of victory that night.
Yep, but NXT came out the victors. I was right.
The only members of the Undisputed Era that did not win their matches was Fish and Chips.
Poor Fish and Chips. I mean, Red Dragon.
Fish and Chips. I'm just saying, guys.
I'll need some Adam Coleslaw on the side, brother.
Yeah, that sounds pretty Roderick Strong.
Ha!
I'll be honest, guys.
All day, folks.
I'm gonna keep calling them Fish and Chips because I can. That's the thing. That's what I always say. I call people these things because I can. Hell, I call Finn Balor Finny McFinfin.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because it's funny. It's not to make fun
Just
of him.
Becky Lunchbox.
Yeah, it's not to make fun of him. It's because it's funny.
It is.
I'm thinking about calling Matt Riddle as Matty B. Riddle.
Oh my God! You didn't just say that.
Matty B. Riddle.
Matty B. Oh, jeez. Moving on.
Matty B. Raps.
Don't say that name. Oh my God. Moving on.
That's like, wow, you're like a wizard telling me not to say Voldemort's name.
Oh my God. Well, that's fine, but don't say MB. He's fuck him. I can't stand his ass.
Matty B. Riddle?
He's fine. Matty B. Riddle. That sounds like some name of a. That sounds like a Scooby Doo villain.
Yeah.
Matty B. Riddle.
But yeah, the New Day and the Revival have been in so many matches. In my opinion, Revival should have never lost their titles ever.
Nope.
How cool would it be if the Revival had won the SmackDown Tag Titles, whatever the hell they did? I think it was, what was it, Clash of Champs? Or, actually, I don't freaking know when it was.
I remember, probably Clash of Champions, I think, is when they won them, or whatever.
Yeah, well, either way, what I'm saying is, like, in my opinion, like, they should never have lost them to the New Day, because, in my opinion, what does that even do?
Nothing.
Bingo!
Nothing whatsoever, and the tag team division is still dead. But that's on the WWE. Well done.
But I will say, I was just gonna say New Day, just so we could just put the rest of this whole thing. Because I don't want to.
The New Day is gonna win. Who cares?
Yeah, in my opinion, I'm getting a little tired of this back and forth shit.
Me too.
So yeah, with that being said, we'll go into the last match that we're gonna talk about. I can't believe this. I never thought on the last pay-per-view this would be the match we're going to talk about last. The women's tag team title match is what talking about last, huh?
Oh, yeah.
It's a TLC match. At least, in my opinion, it's an improvement.
It's kind of what we got last year, except different. Well, with Kairi Sane in the mix.
Yeah, it's the same people who was in the TLC match last year, except Kairi Sane's in the mix, and it's a tag team match.
And the tag team titles are involved. It's basically what happened last year.
So if Asuka wins this, I'd be like, wow, deja vu. She beat Becky and Charlotte 2 years in a row at TLC.
Yep.
Could you imagine if Ronda Rousey interfered in this one too?
Oh my God.
That would be hilarious.
Could you actually imagine if that would happen?
Yeah, I'd be like, oh my God, it's deja vu. It really is.
You know, like Ronda pushes over the ladder. Becky and Charlotte over the titles. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'd be like, wow, it really is deja vu.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, defend against Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. And what I like about this is Becky and Charlotte, they're not teaming with each other. And I actually like this because they're not teaming for bullshit reasons. They're teaming because they were both victims of the Kabuki Warriors.
Logic.
Yeah, they didn't team up because they're like, what the hell, let's do it. They were not like that at all because they originally didn't want to at all. And then, of course, they each took on the Kabuki Warriors in a handicap match. Charlotte was defeated. Becky, that match ended in disqualification, but she still got ambushed by Kabuki Warriors. And then Charlotte got ambushed again. So they were both injured, I like that they were both sitting in the trainer's room injured, huh?
It's just not looking at each other. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I like that. How pretty much like, what do you think? Becky simply says, tables, ladders, and chairs.
They pan away and the crowd goes wild. I'm like, yeah, baby, yeah.
Yep. In my opinion, that was the perfect way for them to team up. They don't want to team up, and hell, I don't think they care if they lose.
No.
After all, Becky Lynch is the Raw Women's Champion right now.
The longest reigning right now, baby.
Yep.
Yeah.
Longest reigning Raw Women's Champion. She beat Ronda Rousey's record, I believe, a week after Survivor Series.
She did.
So congratulations to Becky Lynch on that.
I'm so proud of her.
Yep. I'll be honest, even if she was in some way shoved down her throats, we still applaud that she held the title for that long.
Oh, yeah. Like, I'm still surprised. I think legit, thinking about this, I thought they would have taken off her a Hell in a Cell with Sasha. That's what I thought she was losing. But no, she's still holding on to it.
Yep,
She'll probably hold it into Mania next year, for all we know. I don't know.
And that's why...
I have no crystal ball.
And we'll talk about that another time. But,
yeah.
As for the TLC match, the good thing is, with the exception of Kairi Sane, everybody who's in this match has TLC experience.
Yes.
So at least Kairi Sane will know what to do thanks to Asuka.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to this match simply because, well, Charlotte and Becky are fighting just to destroy the Kabuki Warriors, not just to win the tag titles.
Yep. For a common goal.
So, in my opinion, that was the perfect way to set this up.
Oh, yeah.
So, I will, however, predict the Kabuki Warriors will retain the titles. What about you, Willie?
Oh, boy, this is tough. I'm going to go with Kabuki Warriors to win. Retain. First of all, Becky Lynch is not in the end of the title, period. She already has the title. Charlotte Flair, God forbid, we don't need... Personally, I don't want to see those two as tag team champs. I'm good. Let them do their own thing. And I don't like how they're both on the same brand. I think that's complete garbage, but hey, you had to put Bayley and Sasha somewhere, so whatever. And I don't think that the Kabuki Warriors... First of all, they've been holding the brand down for a... They've been holding the tag team titles down for a while, and I like it. They're probably one of the most, I guess the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Deserving, that's the word, whatever. Deserving winners of the titles.
I was about to say
they have done very well.
I was about to say that they were more iconic.
Oh, obviously. Who?
Exactly. Hard to believe that the Iconics were the champions at all.
I can't believe they were champs. Not to discredit them. They were decent, but whatever. Kabuki Warriors, I know some people have been, calling them names and throwing shade at them sometimes, but I mean, to each his own, potato. I mean, if you don't like Kabuki Warriors, that's fine, but I see some people saying, oh, Kairi Sane's lame, oh, Asuka's lame, she sucks, that's your own opinion, I can respect that opinion. I mean, I think that they've been pretty good tag team champions. I wouldn't mind seeing them holding on. Well, obviously, if they win the Smash, they'll be holding them into 2020. So, hey, to each his own. And I think that they are going to retain. As I said, I don't think Charlotte and Becky Lynch need... First of all, they don't need the tag team titles. They're already made women. They are already made. Becky Lynch, as I said, is already the face of this freaking company. Charlotte Flair, her resume. And give Kabuki Warriors the win here. And it'd be also be cool to see Deja Vu from last year. That's another reason.
And here's another thing.
And Ronda Rousey could show up for all we know. I don't know.
The one thing I have to say is in my opinion, they only have Becky and Charlotte as the team to challenge for the titles because they want to try and elevate the tag titles after they fell into irrelevancy.
Yeah, they're kind of still irrelevant in my opinion now, even though Kabuki Warriors are holding it. But hey,
the thing, of course, is we don't have that many legit tag teams around here anymore. The Riot Squad's no more.
Sadly. But Liv Morgan's coming back. Yay.
Let's see. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, they had their shot and they failed.
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross were the champs. The Iconics were one of the worst champs. Boston Hug Boston Hug could do it again, possibly.
We're not calling them boring and bullshit anymore because they're actually, entertaining now.
That's right. But here's the thing. They said before, though, tag team titles can appear on NXT. Why haven't they?
They did appear on NXT once, remember?
Just once,
against Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai.
Yeah,
remember?
Once.
Yeah, once. Where is it again? We're waiting. What about NXT UK?
Yeah, even NXT UK is eligible for this shit.
Yeah. They were at Survivor Series with Walter, so, why the heck aren't the women's tag team titles being defended in NXT UK? You're supposed to be expanding all over the brands. What are you doing? Go and make tag teams or whatever. I don't know.
They only made the tag team titles because everybody wanted women's tag titles. Though I bet even the fans didn't realize that there wasn't enough to make it a relevant division.
No, they just wanted something, pan and another agenda and crap like that. So, give the women tag team titles. You got them, and now they're dead. Good job. Well done. That's all on WWE.
And hell, they have one of the best. They have one of the best title designs too.
One of the best? Yeah, I agree. It's one of the best. I mean, it's not a bad championship design. It's great. I think that's how the tag team titles for the men should look like. But no, we're stuck with pennies. Speaking of title designs, they need to change with the United States Championship. Yeah, that's how this up left. But yeah, I don't know, people were complaining about the women not having tag team titles, not getting opportunities, and here we are in 2019, going into the 2020s, ending a decade, and people are still saying the women need more. What else is there to accomplish if you really think about it?
Becky Lynch wins the WWE Championship.
Shh, don't say that. Don't. It's already out in the open. Great, now it's going to happen. Let's get out in the open here.
If Becky Lynch defeats Brock Lesnar. If Becky Lynch defeats Brock Lesnar...
Don't give me a break. Becky Lynch and Brock Lesnar.
If
Becky Lynch, there'd be no more Becky Lynch.
Yeah, what if Becky Lynch... Okay, what if Becky Lynch taps out Lesnar to the disarmor? Lesnar would no longer be relevant.
I don't know. Then let's just say the internet will obviously lose their minds. And people will basically just say Becky Lynch is the greatest of all time, which they already are. And they already are saying that. And I personally wouldn't mind a woman winning the WWE or the Universal Championship once. And it has to depend on the right person, because Becky Lynch isn't all that. Becky Lynch has had her year. Becky Lynch has also been the face of this division for a while. It's time to give other people opportunities, but you're not going to be doing that until Becky Lynch steps aside. You freaking Becky, freaking fangirls and fanboys out there. Yeah, I'm talking to you morons on Twitter out there, thinking that Becky Lynch is the greatest of all time. Give me a freaking break, bro.
I'll be perfectly honest, like, in my opinion, the one, if there's any female who would become WWE champion, even if it's highly unlikely.
Don't you dare say Charlotte.
No,
don't you dare say Charlotte.
No. Ronda Rousey.
Obviously, Ronda's more legit. Ronda's the most legit. I mean, outside of Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey's the most legit badass chick in that company. And you all know I'm right.
And here's another thing. Like, I'll be honest for one thing. We are, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I will say thank you guys for joining us on the predictions of TLC. Oh, yeah. We're done talking about TLC now.
Thank you.
But I want to bring up something else as well. We mentioned talking about Becky Lynch and women and everything. In my opinion, this is just my opinion, guys. At WrestleMania, Becky Lynch should defend the Raw Women's title in a rematch with Ronda Rousey.
And why, Christian? It's already happened. Come on.
Well, WrestleMania 35, given the circumstances, as we all know, Ronda Rousey wasn't properly pinned. Her shoulders came off the mat. Her entire body came off the mat for a full second during the count. Referee ignored it.
Yeah,
so if you think about it, Becky's path of dominance at the time, year-long title reign started off with humiliation on Ronda Rousey. So, not just that, Becky Lynch has defeated pretty much almost everyone on the Raw roster that's active, and even those who are inactive. Like, think about this. I'm actually taking a look at the Raw roster right now. Let's see, Asuka and Kairi Sane, they're the tag team champions, so they probably wouldn't be in the mix. Charlotte Flair has been defeated by Becky how many times now?
I've lost count.
I don't think any of the Iconics would do anything. Becky's beaten Natalya. Becky beat Lacey Evans, even though Lacey's on SmackDown. I probably would think potentially Liv Morgan if her new character does really good.
Hopefully.
So think if not Ronda Rousey, then quite possibly Liv Morgan, whatever the hell she's going to do with her new character. Although if you also think about it... What the hell? That was weird. I can hear myself. Anyway,
I can hear you.
Yeah. If you think about all three members of the Riot Squad are actually on Raw, I just now noticed that.
Yeah. Liv Morgan is currently going through some transformation. So
Nia Jax, we all know, is injured with double knee injuries, and in my opinion, I really hope she gets better soon.
And those people are calling her fat and unhealthy need to go fuck themselves. Seriously, be nice.
Ruby Riott, of course. Hopefully when she comes back from her shoulder injury, she could be a contender.
Yeah, Ruby Riott.
So there is like some possibilities for WrestleMania, but in my opinion, none of them would be as meaningful as Ronda Rousey.
If you really think about it, as you said, there's nobody else. Who else is there? Bring up someone from NXT. We just got done technically with Becky Lynch and Shayna Baszler, even though Bayley was in the mix. We technically got that match, but in triple threat form. Like, who else is there? Really, if you really think, who else is there in that division? And I'm going to say it right now. Ronda Rousey brought legitimacy to the women's division.
She did.
Ronda Rousey held that women's division down. Becky Lynch didn't do it. Becky Lynch made... Becky Lynch did bring eyes to the current women's. I'm not talking about the past. I'm not talking about the Bella Twins. I'm not talking about, those girls back there. I'm not talking about AJ Lee. I'm talking about the current state in the women's division. Becky Lynch brought eyes to it, and so did Ronda. Those two. Nobody else. Who's Charlotte Flair? Whatever. Charlotte Flair's already made girl. Like, Becky Lynch is already made. Becky Lynch. And people are saying that she is, like, so many people are saying that she's probably one, if not the greatest of all time. Now, that may be true to your opinion, but I think Becky Lynch is overplayed. I really think Becky Lynch fans need I mean, this is just my opinion here. Some Becky fans do take her a little bit too seriously sometimes. I'm friends with some Becky Lynch Stan, or whatever the heck that word is out there, who think that she's the be-all, end-all, and people think that Ronda Rousey, some Becky Lynch fans, and, it's basically some four horsewoman crap, that think that Ronda Rousey, only came into the division to destroy it. That Ronda was handed everything. That might be true. Might be true Ronda was handed everything. Hey, potato, once again. Come on, I'm saying that again. But yeah, but like, with Ronda, like, she's legit. Becky Lynch is, Christian, do you think Becky Lynch is legit?
In some ways, yes, but in most ways, no.
Nope. Nopey, no. Ronda's legit. Ronda's a badass. Becky Lynch is a badass, yes. But just because you go out there and cut weird promo, I mean, not weird, pretty good promos, and just because you dye your hair, just because you stand up to, like, certain individuals out there, does not mean you're the be-all, end-all, does not mean that you are the most badass chick in the room. Like, there's another badass chick out there, and her name is Ronda Rousey, who could legitimately hurt you if she wanted to. Yeah, if she wanted to, Becky, she could mess you up. She could mess with that entire women's division. And outside Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler is another legit chick out there. Like, those are so far the only two legit individuals out there who I could think of that could actually, go toe-to-toe with little Becky Lynch and, go out there and actually, put on a show, do damage. You know what I mean? And I don't like how people are discrediting Ronda and saying that she does not deserve to be here. She needs to go back to the quote-unquote sports world, to go back to the UFC, and people are saying that she only came here because she failed. That might be true once again. It might be true that she came here because she failed. She probably wanted to try another outlook. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm just so tired of these people out there discrediting Ronda Rousey and saying that she does not deserve anything, saying that she does not deserve to win the Royal Rumble, saying that she does not deserve to be the one to beat Becky Lynch, saying that she does not to be the one to have all the star power. Once again, it goes back on it. The division wouldn't be as it is without Ronda, Becky, and I'm going to throw Charlotte Flair in there. Yeah, maybe Charlotte Flair,
Yeah.
Just kind of depends on your said point of view. Don't worry about what these quote-unquote Becky fans out there are saying. Some of them are very delusional. Not all of them. Some of them are. And for the Ronda haters out there, chill. Chill out. Literally chill out. Calm down. It's not that serious. Professional wrestling is not to be taken seriously. It is a fun sport that we like to watch. It is a fun sport we like to enjoy. Please don't take everything on social media, a podcast, if you're listening to this, a podcast, because anything I'm saying here is complete bullshit to y'all probably, or anything like that seriously. It is all a matter of opinion. And if you cannot accept that opinion, there are two things you can do. You can walk away, and you can respect that opinion politely, or walk away. Your choice.
Bingo.
Literally. It's time for the wrestling community to grow up. You are all a bunch of spoiled, rotten, fickle children out there. You make me laugh.
Bro.
Literally. I'm throwing myself out there in that category.
Preach, bro.
God. No, Christian, like, legit. This isn't even preaching at this point. This is basically, I am so fed up with the community at this point. And these people are really showing their true colors. Especially certain people on Twitter that think that they're all tough shit because they hide behind a screen. Give me a freaking break, man. And this is way off topic here. This is severely off topic. I want to talk about this.
Well, we're not off topic because we're not talking about TLC anymore. This is the 50th episode. Let's go all hell on this shit. We are. Okay, I don't know if you heard about this story that happened a few days ago with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn. I don't know if you saw it floating around. Oh yes, I
the
saw
Sami
this.
Zayn incident. Yeah, the Sami Zayn incident that happened.
We're not going to repeat, folks. We will not repeat the words that were said, but what we will say is a fan who said homophobic slurs to Sami Zayn throughout the time he was at ringside at a house show, to the point where Sami lost his temper and the fan was ejected.
I've said I heavily dislike fans out there who discredit the LGBT community, because as you guys know, that I am, friends with a Christian, obviously, Kelsey. I have so many friends that are part of the LGBT community. I am very protective of those people. And when seeing fans out there saying homophobic slurs out there just makes me sick. It makes me freaking sick to my stomach to see people go out there and just not only that, just go out there and disrespect the wrestlers in general.
That's
you don't know what they do.
Not only is it slurs and everything, it's like homophobia is just as bad as racism.
Don't even get me. We're not even going to go on this whole. Now we're not going to go down that Jordan Miles thing. No, I don't want to go there.
No, we're not going to talk about that. But what I will say is as Willie mentioned, he's friends with Kelsey and we're in the LGBT community. I'm bisexual. Kelsey, is she gay? Or is she bisexual?
Kelsey is I think she's gay. I think she is. She's lesbian.
As for me, I'm bisexual. I admitted that 3.5, almost 4 years ago on a Q&A session on my YouTube channel. And I ain't afraid to say that too. And here's the thing, I'm open about what I like because it's, in my opinion, it just doesn't matter to me. And if people want to talk shit about that, well, that's because, they have absolutely no respect for people like us. But this is why, of course, what I want to say is I heavily applaud Sami Zayn for, standing up for, people in the community.
It's great. It is great that they see people out there doing that kind of stuff. And this is, once again, off topic here. But I want to go down, since this basically is our fifth. Actually, we should wait until next week for the review when if Double R is with us for Sunday. I'll explain to you off the podcast when we get done. The community as a whole needs to chill out. I see so many sensitive people, and I'm not going to use the S word. I'm not going to use a word that rhymes with, let's say, milkshake. And you know what word I'm talking about, Christian. I refuse to use that word. Definitely. I refuse to use that word. I hate seeing the community out there as a whole somewhat taking things to heart. Taking things way too, and this just goes with everybody in the world. People are so sensitive these days. Probably when we get off this thing, people are going to be writing in the comments below, "Oh, you guys are so negative. Oh, you guys don't know what you're talking about. You're a bunch of marks. You're a bunch of internet marks who you're copying off everybody on YouTube." What we do with our hate, we literally look at them and we laugh. Mm-hmm. Literally. The stuff that you write on the comments or wherever, it doesn't matter. The stuff that I see everywhere is just negative. And people always tell me, why are you... this is kind of referring to me here. Sorry about the background noise. This is, to me, people always ask me, Willie, why are you so positive? How do you look at the world so differently? My response is basically, I just learned. I just learned to adapt. That the world basically is just different. And why look at it in a negative way? Now, granted, sometimes you can't be all positive and stuff like that, And, you just look at the world differently. You suck it up. You move forward with your life. And you just do what you gotta do. You know what I mean?
Yep. It's understandable in that case.
You know what I mean? Just to get good advice after what we just talked about.
We're really good at giving out advice to people.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think that's it. That's all I got. That's all you got.
Basically is. And I will say, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you guys very much for supporting us throughout the 50 episodes of the Losers Lounge podcast. Once again, big shout out to the Double R Rice to Ryan, Kelsey, Flair Section, and Connor Riley. They're not here today, but they are just as big as the Losers Lounge as everybody else. They're also optimistic Hall of Famers, and in my opinion, everybody deserves the induction. Oh yeah,
much deserved.
All right,
much
folks.
love.
All right, folks, this is it for this podcast. This was our predictions on WWE TLC. TLC is this upcoming Sunday in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So, this Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 Pacific, on the WWE Network. So, enjoy the pay-per-view event, and Heel Balor, you know what to do.
Do I? I'm kidding. We are the Losers, and this is our lounge. We will see you next week. Too sweet. Peace out.